Yep. Day 12. Day 12. Day 12 of 30. Yeah, tonight's title of this joint is called Am I even streaming? Am I streaming? I can't see myself. I'm gonna wait. I'll wait. That's how they say. I will wait. Let's restart it. Okay. Here we go. I think we're in there. Let's let the children sing. Let's do it again. What's up, everyone? I am Mo’3Times. Welcome to Talking Shit and Getting Clicks. And I am on day 12 of 30. That's right, 30 straight days of live streaming. 2 of these 12 days, I have live streamed mobile directly from my phone, which was pretty damn awesome. It was pretty cool. Picked up a couple subscribers, so that's something I will definitely be doing again. If I'm a little late, I apologize, but I had to totally revamp my sound yet again. So hopefully I'm sounding good out there for you guys. One thing I'm missing is I can't monitor my own voice or my own mic, so I have to rely on looking at the audio mixer and making sure I stay out of the red. But as soon as I go like that, I'm in the red. My God, craziness. All right, so today is day 5 of Kwanzaa. This is crazy. It's only the 29th. Kwanzaa started on the 26th. I think I'm early or something. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. What are we doing here? What's good, everybody in the chat? Jump out, gang. What is good? I gotta look at something real quick because I'm off. Yep. All right. So, guys, so far we have spoken about Ujima, we spoke about Umoja, and we spoke about Kujichagulia, which was awesome. All right, so as you guys know, in Kwanzaa, there are 7 principles: Umoja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Ujama, Nia, Kumba, and Imani. I've spoken about like 3 of them so far, so I'm gonna keep us ahead. We're gonna talk about the fifth principle of Kwanzaa. So on day 5 of Kwanzaa, you're gonna be celebrating the principle known as Nia, and Nia simply means purpose. Yeah. Just purpose. We're not talking about the vibes, not manifestation quotes. We're just specifically talking about purpose. And Nia asks a grown-up question that capitalism hates. And it's, what is all this actually for? Because right now, if we're honest, the economy has a mission. And it's not aligned with ours. The economy is doing what it was designed to do. And that's the uncomfortable part. And that means high prices, low wages, and permanent anxiety. And that means endless work with no arrival, right? And that is not a bug of the system. That's actually a feature. And Nia doesn't let us spiritualize our way around that, okay? Nia says something. And it says, if something keeps harming your people generation after generation, then its purpose is not neutral, it's hostile. I ask everybody to look into these principles of Kwanzaa because it can help not just for, Black Americans, but these principles are for everybody. Everybody, everybody. But going back, if something keeps harming your people generation after generation, then its purpose is not neutral. It's a hostile purpose. Let's get specific with that. I mean, they tell you the economy is strong, right? They tell you the GDP is up, the market is up, stocks are up, but your rent is up faster than your paycheck. Your grocery bill feels personal now. Your car insurance went up because it can, and your phone bill costs as much as a utility. And every emergency becomes a small financial apocalypse, right? So when they say the economy, what they mean is money circulating, not that people are stable. And that distinction matters. Why? What does that distinction matter? I'll tell you why. Because purpose isn't about movement. Purpose is about direction, where that movement takes you. A treadmill moves. It just doesn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? This economy has motion with no destination for regular people. This economy has motion with no destination for the regular people. And Nia forces us to ask. The principle of Nia asks, who decided this was acceptable? Let's talk wages. All right? Because productivity has gone up for decades. Worker output is higher than ever, right? They will tell you, oh, this new generation is lazy. Oh, they're soft. But this generation has worked harder and longer than any of the previous generations. I know it looks cool when there's guys sitting, like balancing on skyscrapers, eating their lunch on top of a steel beam. It seems like hard-nosed work, but productivity in the United States has gone up for decades. But the wages remain flat, basically. A long time ago, it started doing that, remaining flat. So we have to ask, where did the value go? Because we know it didn't disappear. We have to assume it was redirected. And there's Nia again, right there. Purpose staring right back at you. Now, the purpose of modern labor is not to build a stable life. No, it's not. It's to extract as much value as possible while keeping workers just functional enough to return to work tomorrow. That is probably the perfect algorithm for all these companies and corporations and industries. And it's not accidental. That shit is by design. And here's where Nia hits different. Here's where the purpose hits different. Nia is about collective purpose. Collective, not individual hustle. So when they tell you just work harder, they're lying to your effing face. You cannot outwork a system whose sole purpose is to keep you chasing. Right? You cannot budget your way out of structural imbalance. You cannot grind your way out of intentional scarcity. Scarcity is profitable. And debt is profitable. And stress is profitable. If the economy's purpose were human stability, if the economy's purpose was human stability, then housing would not be a speculative asset. Follow me. Food would not be price gouged during crises. Healthcare would not be tied to employment like a leash. You want healthcare, you got to work. You want healthcare, got to work. But that's not purpose. The purpose is what you can use as leverage, right? Think about housing. Homes used to be a shelter. Now they're investment vehicles. That language shift tells the whole story. When corporations buy up neighborhoods, jack up rents, and call it efficiency, the purpose is clear. Turn basic human need into a recurring revenue stream. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what example is better than that of the bottled water. We literally pay for clean drinking water. Right? So yeah, when the corporations buy up your neighborhoods and they jack up those rents and they call it efficiency. We already know what the purpose is. It's basically to turn human need into a recurring revenue stream. They need that what is it called? Subscribers. They need you to subscribe. And then they ask why people aren't having kids, why communities are hollowing out, why mental health is collapsing, because this purpose has been inverted. Instead of economy serving life, life is being squeezed to serve the economy. That's anti-Nia, aka purpose. Now let's bring this home. And especially for Black communities, especially, this isn't new. I mean, we've lived through economies that extracted, they excluded, and then blamed us for the damage. I mean, redlining was not an accident. Wage suppression is not incidental. And disinvestment was not an oversight. Definitely not an oversight. Those systems had purpose. And here's another part that's going to make people uncomfortable. You know, and I know, a system does not have to hate you to harm you. It just has to value profit more than your actual survival. And that's what we're dealing with. So when politicians argue over tax brackets and interest rates, but never touch rent control, they never touch corporate consolidation, they never touch wage floors tied to cost of living, that is not an incompetent system. That is the system working exactly the way it was designed. We call that alignment. We call it alignment. And their Nia, or purpose, is different from yours. So Nia asks, whose purpose is guiding policy right now? Because if your labor can't afford your life, then the math isn't broken. I am going to say it's probably the morality of all of it. Now, I want to be very clear. This isn't a burn it all down speech, even though you know how I feel in my heart of hearts about gasoline and matches. This is a name this shit accurately speech. You got to put a name to it. Because Nia is not chaos. Nia, which is the fifth principle of Kwanzaa, is all about clarity. And clarity is dangerous to systems that rely on confusion. And here's the lie we've been sold, that the economy is some natural force like weather. And we know it's not. The economy is basically a set of choices made by people with names, with offices, and with donors. And purpose doesn't drift, it's chosen. And right now, the purpose of the economy is upward concentration, period. Upward concentration. It's hard to trickle down when it's concentrated upward. Anyway, that doesn't make you lazy. It just makes you honest when you feel tired, okay? It does not make you bad with money, even though, listen, you need to take a class here, take a class there. You need to take a little credit course, take a credit course. You need to learn how to budget, learn how to do that, right? You can do all that, and it's cool. But it doesn't make you bad with money. It just makes you human. And you're in a system that is designed to drain you. They got science behind all of this. So when we talk about Nia and what Nia demands from us tonight, we're not even talking about no miracles. This is not an overnight revolution. And purpose starts smaller than people think. Purpose starts with refusing the gaslighting. Stop letting them lie to you. Stop letting them people lie to you, because refusing to internalize failure, and that is engineered. Refusing to shame yourself for not thriving in an environment that pushes stability. That punishes stability. Don't shame yourself. Purpose also means redefining your success. You know, and if success means burnout, isolation, and constant fear, that is not success. That's compliance. The purpose of Nia and the principle of Nia says success is whether your life makes sense. Does your life make sense to you? Does your work feed your people? Does your energy, and is your energy being spent towards something that actually returns some dignity to yourself? And that might mean making smaller circles when thinking about these things. That might mean being more intentional with your spending. That might mean less worship of status and more cooperation where possible. Because the quiet truth is this. A lot of the systems fear collective purpose, aka collective bargaining, aka collective agreements, aka everyone coming together to have their concerns and issues resolved. The system's fear is that all of that collective purpose comes together more than just an individual anger. And you want to know why? Because it's not lost on me that anger burns out. Anger will eventually burn out. But something about purpose is that purpose keeps that anger ignited for a little while longer because it's organized. And that's why they push hyper-individualism in America so hard, because purpose shared becomes power. So on day 5, when day 5 comes up, and it's coming, don't just ask, what's my purpose? You got to ask the harder question. What am I being used for? And if the answer is to enrich something that gives nothing back, if your answer is returned and it is to build something up, bolster something, to enrich something that gives nothing back, then Nia demands a reassessment. Because a reassessment is way better than shame. It's way better than panic. It's more of a realignment. I mean, purpose isn't found. It's chosen. And every dollar you spend, every hour you give, every narrative you accept or reject, you are participating in a purpose, whether you realize it or not. Nia says, choose consciously. All right, that's all. Because if you don't choose a purpose, the economy will happily assign you one. And it will never be one that benefits you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's day 5. Talking shit, getting clicks. Day 5. Take that with you for tomorrow. And day 5 is Nia, N-I-A. And it means purpose in Kwanzaa principalities. I'm Mo'3Times. This is Talking Shit, Getting Clicks. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Share out. Tell a friend, tell a friend. I'll see you guys back tomorrow for day Lucky 13. Peace.